Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mohamed Abrazaq Al Mahmoud. I'm the seventh generation from Al Mahmoud family who's experts in natural pearls. I'm Mohamed Al Mahmoud, the seventh generation from Al Mahmoud family working in natural pearls. What gives the value for our pearls, it is not a big sizes, it's a small, medium sizes. The most important is the color and the luster of our pearls. What gives the value for it. Here we can see it's a new video which we done few months ago to teach the new generation about the way of diving and how hard is it.
How deep are people diving here to collect the pearl oysters?
In the Gulf, the deepest place, I think it's around 13 to 15 meters, no more than that. Usually they dive between 2 and 5 and 7. In some of the areas like UAE side or Kuwait side, it goes up to 15, more and less, not more than that.
And then are there periods of the year that are better if it's warmer or colder or to also harvest the pearls?
Yeah, and that time they was diving from May, beginning of May, till end of September. Some of the divers, they don't stop. They do dive. After September, they go to India side. They go to Ceylon. And they do dive for 2 months in Ceylon. But they don't find a big production of pearls. It's like a small quantity. And the reason that they continue diving, because they was taking the pearls easier for them to take it from the Gulf to take it to Bombay markets. Why do they go to Bombay market in that time? Because they can find a lot of pearl driller and a threader. So it was very easy for them in that time to do the job, what takes a year back home in the Gulf or in Bahrain or whatever in the market. They can do it in 2 or 3 weeks. Plus that the European markets, it was the best place for them to buy pearls. It was from India. Yes.
And this is what we see here on the video. So this is Pinctada radiata, right? The Gulf pearl oyster that produces.
Yes.
Can you? This is opening an oyster and finding not one but 2 natural pearls here.
And the last few years, I think we did reach up to 32 or 33 pearls in a small oyster. Before, we don't see this much. Now we do find more than 30 pearls in a small oyster.
Okay.
Which is something, nature is changing. And now most of the divers who arrive, we ask them, where from did you dive? How deep was it? To learn from divers. A pearl business, it's totally different than any business in the world. Number one, there should be a connection between the pearl dealer with the diver to ask him about the places which he dive and the quantity of pearls and how long does it take to collect this kind of pearls. Number two, to have a connection with your pearl driller, because the driller, while he's drilling, he can know if it's a natural or a cultured pearl, because his hand is used on a speed while he's drilling the pearl. So he can feel if it's a natural or a culture. An expert threader, he can know while stringing the pearls, he can feel the different. Some of them, not all of them. Old times threaders, they was more expert. Now, very rare who can feel if it's a natural or a culture. Plus that we use labs like SSEF, GIA, Donut in Bahrain to help us to know about pearls.
And can you say something about it in Bahrain? Are cultured pearls still not allowed in the country, or is this changed or changing?
No, still a good
Quite
thing.
unique.
A good thing about Bahrain, since 1928, there was a law from His Majesty, the grandfather of his king, Sheikh Salman bin Hamad, who made a law that you are not allowed to deal with culture pearls or to trade in Bahrain. So this is a good benefit, which is still we have in Bahrain, that we don't allow someone to deal in culture pearls. which help us to take care of, this history. I remember in 1990, 1989, every Thursday from 7 o'clock, we received divers from around the Gulf, from Kuwait, from Saudi Arabia, from around the area. A diver have in his pocket half kg of pearls, which is very rare to find today. Some of them, every week, they come to the market, they have minimum 1 kg in their pocket. And that time, the buying of pearls, we was buying weekly between 2 to 3 kgs a week, which is a very big number, which is today is very hard to find. A good thing about Bahrain now, they start to put a law to teach the diver where to dive, which kind of shells they are allowed to collect. And we wish that the rest in the area to do the same procedure and to take care of natural pearls. A good thing that today we have one of the 6th generation in Germany. He's sitting there, Mr. Dominic. He's one of the oldest maybe in Germany who's expert about natural pearls. Thank you.
And what do you say to somebody who asks you, how often do you find a natural pearl? How many oysters do we have to get or open until we can find a beautiful natural pearl? It's a question I often get, but I wonder, how do you respond to that?
To get a beautiful pearl is very hard. To get pearls is very easy. It's like between 15 and 25, a percentage of which area do they dive and the quantity of shell. But maximum it goes up to 20, 25, not more than that. But to have a beautiful pearls, it is not like before. Yeah. Still, we need thousands of divers to dive like before. It will be easier. Some of the countries in the Gulf, they stop allowing divers to dive in some of the places, which they was finding the best pearls in that. So this is why, like the governments or the countries, they need to put in new laws to teach the diver around the full GCC to show them where to dive and how to dive and which kind of shells they need to collect.
Okay. And I mean, natural pearls are quite a niche market. I think here at the show, apart from Ernst Verba, I don't think there are very many natural pearls around. What is the market today? Because you also sell a lot of natural pearls. Prices are very high. Where's the market today for natural pearls? Who are the consumers? It's quite a niche market, which is thriving, but it is niche.
There is a different categories of customers. When we talk of pearls here, you can see a small pearls between 2 and 3 and 4 mm, which is for all kind of clients, which they love to wear small earrings, small rings, small pendants, and now it's in fashion. It's for everyone. But when we talk about big, unique pieces, it's not for everyone. Number one, the person needs to understand what he's buying, and they know which kind of pearls they need to invest in. It is the best investment, but it's one of the hardest work, as my experience in the world, because you need, as you say, it blocks your money. When you buy a pearl, it's not easy to sell. As we say, you are the richest poor person. You are rich with pearls, but you don't have any cash. Or all your cash and liquid, you buy pearls in them. And if you don't love pearls, you will never understand pearls, and you will never work with natural pearls.
Yeah.
And this is what I see from the families which is left in the world. We are less than 12 or 15% worldwide who love natural pearls and work in natural pearls. So it is more like story of love. This is why we work with it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what you were saying to me before, and it's something I've always felt is that people who deal in natural pearls, you have to be passionate to do it.
Correct.
You don't do it just to make money, and that's what's also, it's a big pearl family in a sense. People really share that passion.
It is sometimes it's not about the money. I saw it and I learned it from my dad. Like there are some of the clients who come want to buy a necklace. It is not about a person who owns money, have money, want to buy anything. Some people, he will offer you the full price without discount. But when you feel he will not appreciate what he's buying from you, we don't sell it to him. And another customer who will pay you less than half of the amount, but he will appreciate your work, your name. It's easier to give it to a person who will respect your name, will respect your work, and will take a good care of your necklaces. Some of the necklaces took more than 40 years to finish. As a one strand, it took exactly a 40 year until we finished that necklace. Some of the new necklaces, we're talking about 27, 30 years, some of them 20 years.
Some of the necklaces that we see here, for example, yeah.
Yeah, this necklace, like the 7-row necklace, which is on, I see it on the left, it took exactly 27 years. It is the same color, the same luster, full graduated, the same size. We're talking about minimum a 95% matching, which is very hard. You feel it's like, I feel some of them are like my brothers. I remember since I was kids, they are like my brother. Now some of the necklaces, I feel that they are my kids.
So does the perfect necklace exist? Or if you buy more pearls, you find one, maybe you exchange a pearl, you improve it, it's like a lifelong quest?
You can't stop. In pearls, you can't stop. You need to buy. Every day you need to buy. You need to search. You need to improve your necklaces as maximum you can. Sometimes you buy a huge necklace, but you need only one pearl from that necklace. One of the stories I remember, one of the necklaces which took exactly 40 years, we bought a full family wealth for 3 pearls. We spend a huge amount only for 3 pearls. Yani sometimes you spend a lot for a small thing. People will look to it as a small, but as a pearl trader, it's something very big for you.
Thank you. And I mean, we have scientific kind of ideas of why pearls form. What is your idea? Why does the oyster form the pearl? Or is there also in tradition from Bahrain, why are oysters producing pearls? Do you have any stories to share on that? Or some produce pearls, others don't?
I think while we're asking the divers about the area which they dive, they say most of the areas in the Gulf, we have something it's called the chochab, which is, I don't know how to say it in English, or I don't know how to explain it in English, but it's like fresh water which come from the sea.
Yeah.
And as comparing with a shallow, like 2 to 3 or 4 meters pearls, and going more than 20 meters diving, you can see the difference. This is why we have the beauty. It is more of the sun, of the sweet water, of the place which they dive for pearls. This is what I think.
Yeah. Okay. And can you share maybe a little bit about the overtones or the orient of the pearl when you try and match pearls? Sometimes it can be more pinkish, more greenish. Are there certain colors that are more expensive, rarer, more difficult to get? Well,
now a good quality of pearl is rare. Any good quality is rare. And that time we was as I said in the beginning, we was receiving minimum 2 to 3 kgs per week. Now we don't receive this numbers of divers. So we need to collect pearls as maximum we can. It doesn't care if it's white, rose, yellow, black.
yeah.
The beauty is there in each pearl. This is why to have an eye of a person who understands the pearl different than a buyer, different than a person who understands about diamonds. If you don't have the eye, you will never see the beauty of pearl.
And no 2 pearls are alike, I imagine.
No, it's very hard. Today, it's very hard to have 2 pearls similar.
And then what we see here is people opening up oysters. So is this still how oysters are?
Yes, it's still, this is the procedure.
For diving?
Yes, correct. And I think there will be a video for the driller and the threader after that.
And so you do the drilling and the threading in-house? You have this...
Our main office is in Father House.
Okay.
We work from 7:30 in the morning till 3:30 in the afternoon. And it's the best time because we need the daylight. And natural pearls, you should never use like LEDs light or halogen light. It do affect and it do change the color of pearls. This is why we prefer to use the daylight. And while we were sitting in the office, we never switch the lights. It's off. We need to work next to the window. We need the daylight. If any of the guests have any question, please feel free.
Maybe let me give the microphone to Dominic. I have one here. Maybe you can share what your passion is for natural pearls or what you think about natural pearls in general.
No, I actually must think about questions first. I probably have many questions, and as I have a great passion, as I have a great passion for pearls, for natural pearls and all varieties. Now, do you find a lot of colored pearls in Bahrain as well?
Yes, we do. I remember in the old time, when I was counting the colors, I was talking about around 15 to 16 colors. Now, the colors which I start to see in the last maybe 10 years, there is more than 23 or 24 colors. There is a lot of new colors in the last few years. We don't know what is the reason. Is it the sun? Because it's a shallow water. Is it the chemicals which is in the sea? We don't know. But there is a lot of beautiful colors which we start to receive in the few years.
Did the Iraq War and the Gulf War basically affected the harvesting when you had the oil spill and the polluting that was going on in the Arabic Sea? Did this had any effect on the natural pearl?
Maybe, because I remember when my dad was asking the diver at that time, who was diving in Kuwait area, they say the places which they go and they collect the shell, it is the most cleanest, comparing with a place without a shell. And some of the divers, they made a study, they move a shell from a place which is a clean place, and they did put it in a different place which was full with oil. In that time, they came after like 1 or 2 months, it was a clean. So I think, as we learn from divers, that the shell do clean the sea. It's like a filter. I did try something. I heard it from the divers. I collect some shells. I open a shell, and I did try the water which is in the shell. It was so sweet. There is a small filter inside the shell which helps to clean the water. Plus, what we heard from divers that when they collect from places was filled in that time in 1991 or 1995, which is after the war, it was so clean. So this is what I think. I'm not sure about it, but as we say, we need to learn, and we ask every person, from a diver and a threader and a driller and a traders, it's an experience which we can't find in schools and universities. This is why it's the pearl business. It's a relation. It's not a competitor work. No, it's a relation, which I need to buy from you. You need to buy from me. Someone else the same to finish his necklace or to finish his piece of jewelry, and to take the experience from each other.
Do you feel there's a rising market outside of the Bahrain and India that acknowledge natural pearls stronger than they did before?
There is a new market which I feel it's a cheating market, with all respect, which they are using the cashew pearls. They drill it, they treat it, and they try to cheat people with it, which is one of the worst thing which is happening now in this business. And with all respect, some of the people, they don't have the manners for this work, which they go to SSCF or GIA or to Danat, to one of the labs. They issue a certificate on a pearl necklace, then they cut the necklace, they replace it with a cashew pearls, and they resell it in the market. This is why business pearl, we need to deal with people who we can trust, who cares about their family name. This is what happened.
We maybe just need to add for people who don't know that what keshi is, that keshi is a cultured pearl, so it's not the same thing as a natural pearl. So it also doesn't have the same factor of rarity, and that really is the issue. It's passing off beadless cultured pearls as natural pearls.
Some of the cashew pearls that have the look from outside for the people who don't understand it, look like a natural, some of them. And the problem that we have, people who treat them, they try to do their maximum. As I heard, some of the farms, they took the DNA of our shells and they are trying their maximum to copy the pearl. This is what I heard from some of the labs.
Is there any pearl cultivation going on still in the Gulf now? There used to be a project, I think, or still is in UAE. I heard of things in Qatar.
Well, I think there is only one farm in UAE. I think it's
Ras Al Khaimah.
Yeah, it's in Ras Al Khaimah. There is only one farm.
Yeah.
But what I heard that it do affect the area to, do affect the fish. This is what I heard from divers. I didn't see it. They say that where there is a farm, it do affect the area next to it.
I've been to the farm. It's in mangroves and it's protecting some of the fish as well, and probably leading to new populations of natural pearls.
Sure.
Yeah.
But as we say, natural is natural.
Yeah,
totally
it's a very different product. It's, yeah, absolutely. Any other questions or comments? Yeah, we have a question up there.
I have a question about the price range of these pearls. So can you tell us something about maybe for 2 or 3 millimeters in diameter or up to 5 or 6 millimeters? What is the price range of the natural pearls?
The prices that depend on the quality. Quality makes the difference. And as we say, there is no value for pearls like diamond. Diamond, there is a report which we follow. And pearls, it is between the pearl traders. We know that this kind of pearl, this size, this quality, there is a range for it. And sometimes it do change. Like if you are searching for 3 millimeter, as example, if you are searching for 3 millimeter, and let's say a gram in the market, it's worth like $200, but you need it, maybe you can pay $1,000 for it because you need it. Yeah. It's totally different business, different than stones, different than diamonds. And every trader have a different eye and a different look on pearls. So it's tricky and it's very hard.
Oh, okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much for your time.
You're most welcome.
If there are any other questions, I'm sure you're still around here for a few minutes. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.